Hi, I'm Clayton.
And I'm Raquel.
And this is our love story. So we've been dating 7 years in October. We met at Bakersfield College in student government. So we started out as friends and colleagues in that, and just a relationship started out of that.
Yeah. Friendship, that's the best way to go about starting things. Friendship, and then luckily we've been lucky enough to transfer from BC to Davis, one of our absolute favorite places on the planet. And then we had the world brought us back here to Bakersfield for a little bit, and now we're down in San Diego, both working on our master's degrees. So you could say that we've been together, two peas in a pod almost, for quite some time. All right, so one of my absolute favorite memories, it makes me laugh when I think about it. So Clayton and I both went to DC and interned together over there for a summer. And where we lived, it was great because we could walk down to the mall. And one of our favorite things in the evening was to take a run or a walk down all the way to Lincoln. And this one evening, I always check the weather app. I'm just super OCD about that. And so this one evening, I was like, hey, let's go for a run really quick. I know it's gonna rain later, so we'll make it snappy. And of course, you were already, hey, we need to make it really quick because it's gonna rain.
And knowing her, it was not going to be quick with photos and everything that I knew would be entailed going there. So.
And so we get down to Lincoln and we go all the way up the stairs because I wanted to just go all the way up. And so we see in the distance the clouds are coming in, and you were bugging us to leave immediately. And so I'm like, okay.
So we're a few miles from our place.
Yes. And so we're starting to leave Lincoln, and a drop falls on, and then it was okay, it's gonna start sprinkling, and then all of a sudden just complete downpour, just soaking wet. And we even we turned around, and it was pitch black too, we could not see Lincoln. And so the best part about this is Clayton's looking at me it's raining. And then we have to find shelter, and there's really not anywhere to find shelter because it's just trees and open area. So we get all the way down to the Washington Monument, and there's this little alcove, a little cutout for a door to go up. And us and all these random strangers were huddling underneath the alcove, and we are soaking wet. When I tell you soaking wet, I mean when we got back after finally catching an Uber, I could twist my shirt and water was just dripping out. And the whole time we were hiding underneath this little alcove, I just felt Clayton, we were laughing about it. Well, maybe later. But.
Yeah, it was more after, but it was just it was a really interesting moment that we had.
It was just one of those things where you almost see it in a movie, and it's romantic and whatever. And it's one of my favorite things to look back on. And the poor Uber driver, everyone called Ubers that was underneath the alcove, and the poor guy, we got in and we were soaking wet. We felt so bad, but that was really fun. Yeah. Honestly, all those walks that we took down to Lincoln that summer were just some of my favorite memories ever.
Yeah. For me, we've definitely had a lot of fun adventures that we've been on, both at UC Davis and back here working in DC, and then also in San Diego now. But for me was our proposal. It was strange because she's my best friend, and I had to plan everything without her help, and she is the planner. We joke that she's kind of like the tour guide, chief of staff for us. She plans everything and does everything. So I had to do all that by myself, and so luckily I had help from my parents and her friends and some of my friends from work, but essentially, we did it over in Cambria. There's a little beach, actually San Simeon, but there's a little beach that she really likes, and so I planned to do it there and hired a photographer that was going to hide on the beach. And I'd never met this person before. It was on the internet, and I had just said, hey, I need some help, take some photos. And so she's like, yeah, well, I'll just meet you down there. You'll see me. I look like this. And so, I get down there, and it was her birthday weekend. So she thought we were going to the beach for her birthday. And this was the day before her birthday. And so then we get to the beach, and I don't see the photographer. We're just kind of walking around, and I'm starting to get a little worried that, this person isn't showing up. And we kind of come over this sand dune and I see her sitting there taking pictures of birds and stuff. And then she kind of looks at me. I'm like, okay, this is the person. And so we just like walk away and spun Raquel around and then got down on one knee and, don't remember a whole lot after that. I just kind of went blank, but she said yes. So that was one of my favorite memories, starting our relationship, transitioning from, a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend to fiancés.
Yeah, it was great because you did have the photographer. So that was definitely a must from the start of when I was like, you're going to have a photographer when you propose. But it was perfect because I still had enough control over the fact that I was like, hey, we're going to go to the beach for my birthday. Let's do that. And you're like, great. And it's fun because now putting together all the pieces after you proposed to me of you were like, okay, so now I can tell you everything that I did to propose and get ready for this proposal of buying the ring back in December and then holding on to that for 5 months. And just telling asking my parents and telling my best friends. And it's just so fun to look back at that. And I love that when we were on our way to the beach, I did not know that you were so nervous. I knew, I figured I would know the day you were going to do it because you are, you would have been the type of person that was I don't want to eat, I don't want to do anything. But you were pretty calm, cool, and collected. I'm very impressed.
It was game time. I was ready to go. I will have to say I did lie. You know this. I had to lie to get her there. I was like, we'll go to the beach, we'll hang out, and then we'll go get a really nice dinner. And so she's like, oh, that sounds great. And then I proposed to her, and then I broke it to her I have no idea where we're gonna eat. That was an afterthought. It was just a way to get you here, so we can go anywhere we want. So
yeah, you did not have dinner plans. You were like, so what do you want to do? What do I do for dinner? Which is the most asked thing ever when it's well, I don't know. But we had a great dinner. It was fantastic. Some of my closest friends that were able to come showed up the next day, and they were already planning to come the next day because it was my birthday. So it was fantastic to see them, and they brought congratulations proposed gifts and everything because they knew, and it was really special. You did a good job.
Thank you.
I think that for the wedding, I'm really excited just to marry my best friend. You have been it'll be 8 years by the time that we get married, and we'll actually be married by our 8th anniversary, so that's really exciting. But I'm looking forward to marry you. That's what I'm looking forward to about the wedding.
Yeah, she's my best friend, so I'm excited to make her my wife and be her husband. But also just looking forward to celebrating with our friends and family. It's been a long time coming. Everyone already feels like family at this point, but excited to make it official.
Yeah. And then how would we define love?
For me, it's finding your best friend and wanting to do absolutely everything in the world for that person and with that person, and wanting them by your side through whatever it is that life throws at you.
Yeah, and I would just add that it is loving everything about that person and being excited for the rest of our lives together, and just all of your quirks and your humor and everything that comes with it. I love that about you, and I will love that about you forever.
No, I love you too.
And
that's our love story.